Hello students, today it is time to start the next unit, unit 3, where I will start discussing first chapter of unit 3. It is very important, crucial part of organization behavior. In scope I told that how organization behavior works at individual level, where I discussed the behavior of people, how it can be judged in the form of identifying the personality, the way how we can identify the way of motivation, learning, perception, mood. And I also discussed that how leadership pattern within an individual help to understand, manage and control the behavior and create the behavioral aspect into that particular sense which lead to achieve the organizational objective. Today, this unit onwards, unit 3, to group dynamics. We will discuss the concept of organizational behavior at a group level, at department level. How the behavior of people within a group can be managed, operated, evaluated, administered and controlled. That has to be so seen in the organizational behavior itself. As students, I told you that organization behavior, in importance I told that organization behavior does not work in the individual level to understand the behavior and managing the behavior of people at individual level, but it understands and manages the behavior at a group level. Today I will discuss that how at group level the concept of organizational behavior could be operated. Friends, it is my duty to understand to explain the concept of group before entering into group dynamics. What is group and what is organization, and what is the difference between a group and an organization? Group is consisting of two or more people with a shared objective, with a shared goal to achieve. In group, we can find people belong to different, not necessarily to different, a similar pattern or similar mindset or similar psychographic concern. Rather, group consisting of people belong to different variety and different category of personal and democratic pattern. What is group? As I just told, group consisting of two or more people having a shared goal and objective to achieve. Means they will work and they will give effort in order to achieve the common interest and common goal that is predetermined. They combinedly give effort in order to achieve the goal and objective. What is group? Group consisting of two or more people working together, combining together in order to achieve a shared goal or a predefined or predetermined goal. Organization consisting of number of groups. Not necessary in organization we will find one or two or very few number of group. Rather, organization tasks could be accomplished through different form of group activities, group tasks or team effort or team activity we need. Students, what is group dynamics? Now it is important for us to understand what is group dynamic. Group dynamic is nothing but is a procedure to understand. It is a method to understand how a group can be structured, how a group can be formed. Very essentially, before constituting, framing any group, there must be certain criteria, there must be certain procedure which has to be well known and well understood. It is very important to understand the group procedure, how it could be. So once this is come under group dynamics, that how a group could be formed, how a group could be constituted. Next, under group dynamics, we require to know and understand how a group can be structured and designed. Friend, it is highly necessary for every organization, every management to know that what should be the procedure to structure or to create a framework of the group. A proper criteria has to be set in order to structure a group. That, like, what should be the position of every member in the group has to be properly known and identified, properly designated, and what should be the role of every member has to be properly defined. In group dynamics, it is highly important to prepare a structure of the group and setting of a relationship between different members in the group. This is what we mean in group dynamics. It is all about to understand, to structure and design the architect of the group. Accordingly, this could be formed and operated. Next, it is that the total number of the group, total members of the group. So it is a very quite important and very difficult to answer this particular question, that a group consisting of people, but what there should be there any certainty in the number of member within a group? In fact, not really. There is no certain criteria in number should be predefined, that this should be the given number of members should exist or coexist in a group. But the number can be up to any number, but it could be 12 to 18. It's a standard number. Many scholars have given that particular this as a standard number. 12 to 18 is a standard number. So in group dynamics, it is also very important for the group formation. Apart from group formation and group structure, the number of group is quite a high important. That what should be the actual number of the group. Next, it is in group dynamics, it is important to governing and setting the group norms. So it is highly important how a group should operate, how a group should run. So for that reason, certain predetermined group norms, predetermined group you can say criteria has to be, a constitution you can say has to be formed out, so that the group members could strictly follow their rule, predetermined goal, and what should be the procedure they require to follow. That has to be properly known and identified. So friends, it is quite important for us to understand. So what is group dynamics? Now it is very clear that group dynamics is nothing but the procedure, or you can say setting up to understand the pros and cons of the group. That means what should be the procedure of form a group, what should be the number of the group respondent in the group, what should be the structure of the group, what should be the procedure required to be followed to form a group. And it also, in group dynamics, it sets relationship among different group members. So group dynamics tries set a bridge to setting a cordial relationship, or ensure a very good communication between or among the group members, so that they can respond it towards the environment positively, and they work accordingly productively in order to achieve the organizational or predetermined goal. So group dynamics not only setting a good communication between or relationship between group member, but also it sets cordial relationship among different groups constituted in organization. So there are a numerous form of group has been constituted within the organization. Not necessarily some are known, some are identified, some are constituted according to the formal approach, but there are certain groups which is unknown, unintentionally it has been created, which is informally which has been created. So group dynamics identify all such groups, administer those groups, observe those groups, and maintain into that extent, they maintain a cordial relationship between all the groups, so that it will not negatively impact the overall performance of the organization. I think now it is clear what is group dynamics is all about. Group dynamics is nothing but the procedure to understand the structure, the formation, the constitution, the group norm, group number, and setting a quite good relationship among the different group members, and it set a cordial relationship between different groups within the organization. A very basic question I just like to put you here, that now it is easier for you to understand that what is group and what is group dynamics. But a basic question has to be answered right here, that what is the basic difference between a group and a team. I hope if it would be a class, definitely I ask this particular question to each one of you, that both the words seeming same but having some fundamental differences between a group and a team. As we are dealing or managing a group behavior in the form of understanding the group dynamics, it is highly important to understand the team and difference between a team and a group. So students, what is group? As I just told, group is nothing but combination of people, combination of individuals or employee having a shared goal, shared objective to achieve and fulfill. If I will bring a few people, those who are working all around or passing through on the road, I will blindly pick few people from there, passerby. If I will combine them in order to achieve certain task, this may be a group. That means group may consisting of ordinary kind of people. Group may consisting of very common people. But in case of team, it is a little bit different. Fundamentally, there are certain similarity that in team also we find people or combining people, shared goal and objective to achieve, and having certain norms. But the character of the member in a team is little bit different. That is, they are, I can say, in case of a team, we definitely find that a team must consisting of people having expertise, a group of experts. In a group, we may not necessary to find or to require a group of expert to to deal with. But in a team, we definitely require a group of expert, the people of competent people. They require to combine themselves in order to achieve a specialized task. So what we mean? So there should not be confused that whether we are discussing a group dynamics, it should contain the team or not. I am discussing both the aspects. It may be a group dynamic or maybe a team dynamic. For your information, I am telling you, I will discuss here in this particular chapter what things I will discuss. In this particular chapter, I will discuss different forms of group. First, that is formal and informal group. I will discuss types of group, formal and informal group, and I will recategorize the types of formal group, and I will reclassify the types of informal group. So students, so here under group dynamics, I will discuss different forms of group, different forms of group. So next class I will explain this more categorically, but today I will just make you one thing very clear, that majorly or broadly we can find two type of group, that is formal group, and second it is informal group. Very next class I will explain what is formal group and what are the types of formal group and how formal group and what circumstance formal group has been constituted and prepared. But today I will just like to make you fundamentally clear that what is formal and what is informal. What do you mean by formal? Very commonly we use this word in our curriculum, that your look must be formal. Whenever I am there in the class, I always tell my students, look very fair, come with a proper dress code, come with a proper uniform, shoes, belt, perfect professional look. You know what? Why I usually to say this? A formal group, because not group, formal. The formal is something which is looking very structured, systematic, fair, predetermined, predefined. So these are the terms usually associated with the word formal. If I speak my look is very formal, that means it is expected by the professionals, by the corporates. So what is expected from the corporate officials? What you look, if you match, that means you are formal. What haircut you go, that is expected, you meet, formal. The dress code should be formal. The approach, the speaking, isn't it? Kha, bhunj, gid. In Odia, we have same thing, but wordings different, isn't it? So that is what I exactly want. That is what formal. What is expected by the corporates, what is planned, predetermined, pre-structured is known as formal. I am not explaining what is formal group. I am telling what is formal, what is informal. Today I will explain this much only. So what is expected by the corporate, what is expected by the professionals, corporate professionals, if you meet your style up to that, means you have a very good verbal communication, you have very good writing skill, you have very good leadership capability, if you have very good sense of dress code, if you have very good sense of speaking, formal behavior, procedural task, procedural structure you follow, that means you are formal. What is informal? It's an opposite of formal. I mean in informal, which is unexpected, which is unknown by the corporate. Suppose if you will appear with a very typical gesture, that is unknown to the corporates, to the professionals in the organization, business organization. What does it mean? I mean that if your style does not meet or match to the requirement of the corporate professionals, which is unstructured, unsystematic. Your dress code is unsystematic, your approach, your speaking, your body language is unsystematic, your style of communication is unsystematic, the way you speak, the way you talk, your attitude, your behavior looking, very awkward, unsystematic, that is not expected and accepted too. Understood? So what I mean, this is what structured, formal means structured, informal means unstructured, unplanned, unusual. So how group can be a formal and how group can be informal, I will explain this later class. This is an introductory class of Unit 3 Group Dynamics. I don't want to go depth of the concept. I will explain today, next class, that what is formal group and how it could be constituted and how many types of formal group we will find. But I can tell you that group can be formal or can be informal. If we will talk about formal group, whatever WhatsApp group we prepare, I can tell certain example so that next class you can capture me well. That as far as the formal group is concerned, which is officially created, your class is a formal group. The different groups has been formed, in your class is a formal group. WhatsApp group made by us, the authority, college's authority, is a formal group. But at the same time, there are certain group has been created by you and automatically, unintentionally, it is created. It's a very common thing that whenever you talk, you gossip, you interact in the class or outside the class, some type of few people create their scope. Few student among you create a kind of interaction. They feel free. Similar mindset people, they unite them together and they form a group. They form certain groups. They form. It is automatically formed, in fact. So whenever we talk about this kind of friendship group, what you form within you, or it is formed within the class, so this could be an informal group, unstructured group. Nothing has to be planned and prepared. It is, by chance or spontaneously, it is created. That is what we mean informal group. I don't want to go depth of the concept. This is an introductory class for your information. Next class, I will definitely explain that what is formal group, characteristics of formal group and how it could be constituted, and different forms of formal group, where I will explain different forms of formal group. That's all for today's class. Thank you very much. Thank you.